Small talk can be a pain for some people, especially introverts. Now, there is nothing wrong with light and playful banter, and we've covered that in other videos, but in this video, we are going to discuss how anyone, including introverts, can become a master of quickly moving through small talk to something more. And for some people, it's going to come as a surprise that I am featuring Kanye West in this video. To be clear, I'm not saying that Kanye West is necessarily an introvert.
Ye is in the building. Throw your hands in the air right now. Put your hands in the air right now.
Kanye may or may not be an introvert, but in his most recent interview with Jimmy Kimmel, I did see a number of behaviors that are typical of an introverted type that doesn't really want to engage in small talk. And I thought that this could make a good jumping off point for the topic. So, first off, small talk can be difficult for people because they don't know when to participate. If they aren't asked a question, they feel like they shouldn't speak up, and then the dreaded awkward silence ensues before the other person excuses themselves. In reality, there are almost always subtle openings and invitations to join in. Notice in this next clip the moments where Jimmy sets Kanye up to comment.
I'll tell you a story, and this is honestly true. The last time, a few years ago, you sent me a pair of Yeezys. I have never in my life had more people come up and talk to me than when I was walking around in them, to the point where I was like, this is crazy. I got to get these off. People are chasing me. I'm worried people are going to beat me up and take these. Usually people wait they see them sleeping on the street waiting for these shoes.
Now, Kanye either doesn't see those openings or chooses not to take them. But if you want to move through small talk, you actually should. The easiest way to create that initial banter is by saying how the other person's statement makes you feel. For instance, Kanye could have talked about how the popularity of Yeezys made him feel embarrassed, proud, flattered, literally whatever feeling he felt. Those interjections are a simple thing that makes early conversation move smoothly. For instance, here is Ryan Gosling, who I think might be an introvert, doing that in this next clip.
Welcome to the program. Nice to see you. You know, I saw this film the other night. Very good movie. I really enjoyed it.
Can I hug you?
No.
Okay.
I mean, for what purpose, really?
I just think you're the best.
Oh, no, please.
So excited to be on your show.
Well, we're happy to have you here. All right?
Introverts also tend to take early conversational questions like, how are you doing? Or did you enjoy your day? And answer them literally. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with this, but it can make it more difficult to get the ball rolling in conversation because the literal answer is very short, like in this example.
Very, very cute. Climbing on your head. Do you dress them? Do you pick their outfits? Mm-hmm. You do? Is that fun for you? Mm-hmm. Do you design outfits for them? Mm-hmm. You do? Do they love that? I mean, do they understand that process, that you draw something and then it becomes their clothes?
Yeah, my daughter went to a fashion camp for 5 days a couple weeks ago.
You notice the conversation kind of just stalled until Kanye took Jimmy's questions and made them into a springboard to talk about something else, which highlights a major point. If you want to move through small talk into something a bit more meaningful, you need to not answer the questions you are asked sometimes, since most people often ask boring, close-ended questions. Instead, you should answer a more interesting question that is related to what you are being asked. Here's Kanye doing it earlier in the same interview.
Do you ever regret anything you say, or is it just like you just look at it like, hey, I put it out there, it's out there, there's no point in regretting it?
I think people focus too much on the past.
An important mindset here that absolutely applies to your conversations is that people will appreciate you not answering their literal question if it makes the conversation more engaging. So if you move from a boring close-ended question to an interesting anecdote or a joke, you're actually doing everyone a favor. What feels worse is the awkward silence that follows those boring, abrupt, literal answers.
Do you go to the movies? Come to think of it.
Once in a while.
Now, giving a lengthier answer to a short question might make you worried that you're going to talk someone's ear off. And if you want to avoid that, you can actually simply pause to create periodic opt-in points for the audience. This allows them to express if they'd like you to continue, either by asking you questions or just giving you attentive body language. George Clooney, who is an excellent storyteller, does this to ensure that he doesn't dominate group conversation with something no one wants to hear about. Notice how there's an interesting hook that Graham follows up on to invite George to continue.
And then I would send letters to other actors from Brad Pitt. I've sent letters to lots and lots of people from Brad.
And this is like you don't tell either of them.
I don't tell either, no. I let them know, and then they're like, are you kidding me?
You can do the same thing. One opportunity to create an opt-in point is by allowing stories that you tell to actually be interrupted when somebody new joins your group, like when a waiter interrupts conversation to take your order. If the person you're speaking to asks you to continue where you left off, you know that they were interested. And if not, just move on knowing that you won't be boring them with something they don't care about. And that takes us to the biggest point. For introverts, oftentimes small talk and banter isn't the goal of conversation. It's to arrive at a conversational topic that you both care deeply about. Most conversations left to their own devices, though, will stay in banter, so you're going to need to steer conversation away from that banter in the direction of deeper topics on purpose, like this.
Right there.
I have to get it. I feel like you avoided this album title.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I mean, what it says right here on the
I hate
title.
being bipolar. It's awesome.
In this case, Kanye wanted to talk about mental health, so he pointed to the album cover as a nice segue. And if you want to do something similar, ask people their opinions on movies or news stories that you care about. For instance, if you're a fan of moral philosophical debate, something as popular as Avengers 3 can make an easy segue to talk about, for instance, the morality of Thanos' endgame. Alternatively, since people love being asked their opinions, you can just say, "Oh, have I gotten your opinion about X," and fill in the blank with the topic that you're fascinated by. That way you don't have to spend 10 minutes warming up with dull conversation about weather or the sports team or how your families have been. You're purposely guiding the conversation, steering quickly to a topic that you find first. Reply to statements made by the other person, sharing how you feel, and answer closed questions in a lengthier way to make the early bits of conversation more engaging for both parties. Second, use simple segues to purposely steer conversation towards topics that you have a deeper interest in. And third, ensure that everyone is enjoying conversation by adding those moments of fun. And of course, by checking that the other person is continuing to opt in with their own continued questions, eye contact, and body language. We've got more on those pieces of body language that convey interest in our video on Oprah. She is a master of active listening, and I definitely recommend that you check that video out if that's something that you are interested in. Now, all of this will help you move through small talk, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to make an amazing first impression. That actually requires evoking 4 very specific emotions in a particular order. And if you want to learn more about what those emotions are, I made a video detailing exactly what they are and the order that you need to go in. So if you want to check that out, just click the link in the description or the one that you see on the screen now. It's going to take you to a page where you can drop your email and then watch a video breaking down exactly those 4 emotions that guarantee an amazing first impression every single time. So if you want to consistently make those amazing first impressions, go ahead, click that link now to check the video out. Either way, I hope that you enjoyed this video. You can go ahead and click subscribe if you liked it and want to see more in a week. I look forward to seeing you in that next one.